APIs are not made for humans, and that's why tools like Postman exist. They provide a human interface to an API whose intended user is code. In this video, we'll go from 0 to making live Vonage API calls in minutes. No code required, using a pre-built Postman collection that Vonage maintains for you. Postman is a graphical HTTP client. Think of it like a browser, but instead of rendering web pages, it lets you craft HTTP requests and send them as if you were the calling code, and then inspect the responses. You can build requests, save them, organize them into groups, and share your work with teammates. You can greet the entire API at once using what's called a collection. A collection's nothing more than a stored, organized set of requests, with most of the details already filled in. URLs, headers, authorization values, and body templates. Think of it like a recipe book for an API. And when someone publishes a public collection, you can fork that into your own workspace and start using it immediately. Vonage is a verified publisher on Postman, and the landing page for the collection is at postman.com/Vonage. Now, when you first get here, you might be tempted to explore using the nav bar on the left. But those links are going to take you out of the Vonage collection and out to other Postman pages. Instead, read this welcome message and then scroll down and click on the Vonage APIs. This is what Postman calls a workspace. A workspace is a container for collections. I like to think of a workspace as a project or like a GitHub repository. A collection then is a list of requests, but it can also contain folders for organizing those requests, as well as documentation, scripts, variables, and any authorization values that are specific to that collection. Instead of browsing the Vonage workspace here in the browser, let's jump over to the desktop app of Postman, which I have installed on Windows. Now be aware that at the beginning of March 2026, Postman released version 12 of their desktop application. I'm using that new version here. First, you'll probably want to sign in to Postman. You can use it as a guest, but you won't get the ability to work with collections. Start by searching for Vonage and look for the Vonage APIs result with the blue checkmark. That checkmark indicates Vonage's official verified workspace. Now you see Vonage APIs at the top, indicating that you're looking at this reference workspace. So these are not your own local collections that you can edit yet. That's why they have the lock icons next to them. Each of the entries in this list is its own independent collection. To work with these collections, you need to fork them. Conceptually, forking a collection works just like forking a GitHub repository. It creates a mirror of that collection in your own personal workspace, or in a team workspace if you'd rather, with all of its predefined requests. Once you have your own copy of the requests, you can customize them if you'd like, or you can just fire them off. Let's click the menu icon next to the Account Management collection and choose Fork. We can give our fork a good name, choose which workspace to put it in, and choose whether or not we want to track the source collection published by Vonage. I strongly suggest that you do this so that if we modify this collection, you get a notification and the option to update your local copy. Here in the Vonage APIs workspace, you'll also see a list of environments with just one called Vonage Environment. An environment is simply a list of key value pairs, sort of like environment variables in your operating system. And just like in your operating system, they give you the ability to define keys in your API requests and then substitute them easily using the values in whichever environment you have configured. So let's fork the Vonage environment as well. This gives us the list of all the keys that the collection will expect and let us add values locally in our workspace. Now let's see what we've got. Like me, you may see a few sample collections in your workspace already, but you'll also see the new collections that you forked. Click on the Account Management collection and you'll see some top-level documentation, and you'll see the folder structure and the requests that were created by Vonage as helpful starting points. Let's drill into the Account API folder, into Balance, and look at Get Account Balance. This is a request. You can see by the green get icon that it's going to use the get HTTP verb. Let's see what else Postman tells us about this request. Clicking on the overview gives us some help understanding the purpose of the request. Params lets us see any query parameters that have been defined. None have been defined for this request, but if we add a key and value here, Postman will put that in the URL. The authorization tab indicates that this request has been configured to use basic authentication, meaning it's going to send a username and password, for which this API endpoint is expecting your Vonage API key and secret. So this is where we want to configure an environment and set our local environment variables. You can see that forking the Vonage environment gave us a local instance, and clicking on that gives us a chance to add values for each key. I'll paste my actual API key and secret, and I'll leave the bearer token alone for now. Now we just tell the current collection that this is the environment we want to use by selecting it here. Now if you look at the variables in request pane on the right, you can see that the values you entered are going to be sent for this request. And that's all we need for this request to work, so let's go ahead and click on send. Now we have a new pane below, and we can see the JSON response that was returned. I have 85 cents remaining in this account, and it's not set to automatically reload. That's the body as JSON, but you can also see it raw, or you can click preview and get a nicely formatted table. Let's jump back to the params tab of our request really quick so I can show you that the environment variables work for query parameters as well as the authorization values. And they also work in the remaining tabs, the headers, body, and the scripts if you use pm.environment.get and then your key. Be sure to spend some time playing with all of the APIs in the Workspace too. All of the Vonage APIs are there, including messages, voice, video, and the newer network-powered solutions. Additionally, Postman allows you to play directly with the documentation and tooling MCP servers that Vonage offers. Keep in mind, the Vonage Workspace on Postman is actively maintained and growing. New collections and updates are being added regularly. So if you opted in to watch the source collection when you forked it, you'll get notified whenever something changes. For more information on any of Vonage's APIs and supported programming languages, subscribe to this YouTube channel, join our Slack community, and check out our blog at developer.vonage.com.